listen carefully. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat, because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too, okay? So I need my winos to be in good health because we have some good dragging to do. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order.
Oh, Mimi, how do you feel about all of the backlash that, you know, your child's father has received as a result of this particular relationship? Because it seems like once him and Danny Lay got together is when shit started to get real for him. Like he was losing endorsements, and you know, people are really strong in this whole feminist Me Too movement because they're siding with women, not knowing that women can be the aggressors. And in a lot of instances, we're seeing it go through. We're seeing it probably happen with one of our rising stars, Jonathan Majors. Like, how do you feel about the results that it has impacted, you know, his career in a way where people can't get that image out of his head of him throwing her out?
Anything that ever occurred, it happened because it was initiated by her. I don't feel like, oh, I would still be with him if he didn't have a child by her. Like, I don't put her into nothing in regards to me and him. Like, so to be honest, that's what she falling short to begin with. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the victim role, like you doing. See, that was one thing that she did publicly that let y'all see. Like,
give me an example of something she did privately. This is interesting, okay? Now, I know y'all with Judge Greg Mathis, and he's your guy, and things like that, and, you know, y'all don't like me dragging him. Oh, well, okay? I'm going to keep dragging him, and here's why. Play the video.
15, Judge Mathis here, as you see. You've been critical of us, our movie, First Lady of BMF. Man, you my guy. Let Tonisha eat. You know, First Lady of BMF. I know Lala's doing a hell of a job, but y'all haven't given any, y'all haven't fed Tony. First Lady of BMF. Terry's girl for many decades, Southwest T. I'm from Detroit, they're from Detroit. That's how I'm involved. These are Detroiters, man. We cut from the same cloth. I just got out of the street 10 years earlier than you. Respect you, man. I respect your work. Now let us get some money, man. Good luck on all your endeavors. You're doing a hell of a job. Now let us get some of the money with you, particularly Tonisha Wells, the First Lady of BMF. That's why I'm doing it, because she's a home girl and we from the same cloth. Stay strong, brother. Respect you, but stop it. Stop.
Don't it remind you of your daddy or your granddaddy trying to holler at your friends in high school? Don't he give you that? You know, he got the chain on. You know, he trying to be one of the young guys. Now, let me back up a little bit. So he's making a movie based off of the First Lady of BMF. Now, apparently there's about 9 of them hoes, okay? Every time you turn around, there's a new one. I don't know who's actually first. Like, we know the first ladies of the United States, but the first ladies of these drug dealers, we don't know. Okay? It's a new one popping up every time. They're finding a way to capitalize, right? And so 50 Cent is like, what are you guys doing? Why are y'all making a movie titled The First Lady of BMF? It's like you're using my marketing and everything that I put into building this show and taking real characters, you know what I'm saying, that was a part of BMF. It's the whole blueprint. And so this has to do with intellectual property. 50 Cent just sent off a fair warning. He did it to Vivica Fox, because Vivica Fox is apparently involved in this here production. And Judge Greg Mathis is financing it. He's one of the executive producers, because Vivica ain't got no money to produce it, okay? And yeah, it's such a normal, okay? And you know, and such. And so here's my issue. This man done sat on television 30 years. 30 years. Somebody say 30 years. Say 30 years. Called every guest that was toothless, sunken face, okay? Ponytail sitting in the middle of the head, but no hair at all around here. It's just bald. Anybody that came in that remotely looked like they had a hard life, what do you call them? Crackheads, right? You smoke crack, look like it, tasted it, smelt it. I know a crackhead when I see one. Constantly belittled black people who were the subject of the very lady he's promoting right now, acting like a cat daddy from back in Detroit, trying to touch on your high school daughter's friends' asses as they walk by in the living room. You rubbing your legs like this. First lady of BML, let us get some of the money. You want to shame the very person who was profitable for these drugs? Like you sat in court and shamed the customers. 30 years you profited off of shaming black folks over a drug that was ingested into our community, and now that you are off the bench, now you want to glorify the drug dealers. I'm telling you, y'all gonna have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. Period. Cause I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how he helps our community. He just wants some of the money. You heard? Let us get some of the money too. Tonisha deserves that. Yeah. And he just rubbing the inside of his thigh, rubbing the too, because they sitting on his thigh because they so low from the aging and the skin sagging. I said, you cannot make this up. I better not ever see now one of y'all ever trying to check me for dragging him, because he ain't no different than any other person. You sit up, you exploit the black community for profit, you talk down on them, never heard you uplifting them. You know what the crack era did to millions of black people. You laughed at them. Talking about, we need reform. Black people got to do better. And then as soon as you get out, you want to glorify the very lady that helped to push crack in our communities. Somebody need to push his ass out of our community. Moving on. Whew, I'm already hot. Plants got to cool me off, child. Now, this is funny. Now, this is Uncle Luke's son. Okay, normally we would have a picture of Uncle Luke up here, but we don't need one. We know Uncle Luke when we see him, okay? We can smell his breath through that gap that he got in his mouth, okay? So Uncle Luke's son, Luther Campbell Jr., was arrested and charged with aggravated assault after allegedly approaching two women with a knife, okay? Now, I got this article from the Jasmine brand, okay? So according to the Jasmine brand, the son of Miami native Uncle Luke recently had a run-in with the law. This ain't his first nor his last. According to reports, Luther Campbell Jr. was arrested in his hometown this past Tuesday, March 28th, after allegedly aggressively walking towards two women with a knife and subsequently attempting to evade police. Reports state that the celebrity's son was on Miami's South Beach when he walked towards two women armed, asking, "What did you say? What did you say?" This is all alleged, of course. According to the Jasmine brand. I wasn't there. I didn't see no pocket knife. He looked like he... All I'm going to say. The victims reportedly hid behind a vehicle and eventually identified Luther Campbell Jr., who fled the scene as the assailant. Reportedly, when police caught up to him, Jr. continued to evade, possibly due to already being on probation. Right? Already on probation. Police report that when they finally arrested him, they found the weapon in his pocket. Luther Campbell Jr. was reportedly charged with aggravated assault and deadly weapon and resisting an officer without violence and given a $6,000 bond. However, it's reported that due to the prior charge of him being on probation, Jr. will be required to remain in jail until this coming Tuesday. So he should be out tomorrow after his court date, okay? If he do right. Additionally, he has been banned from confronting or speaking to the alleged aggravated assault victims. Uncle Luke, also Luther Campbell, his daddy, okay, the one with the gap, and we can smell his breath through the gap, okay? As you know, like, you know, my breath stinking on teeth like this, and I'm trying to talk, or you know, but that gap, it releases any decay or bacteria you got coming through that, okay? He refuses to go to Columbia and let them seal that thing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Uncle Luke. Okay? Now, Uncle Luke, also named Luther Campbell, addressed the situation, insinuating coverage of his son's arrest. This is getting there. I gotta love my people. It's always political. It's political. No, it's federal. It's federal. Okay? This is what he said. He says federal. He said insinuating coverage of his son's arrest is meant to distract from the real issues going on in the city. The record exec posted a series of Instagram videos accusing the Florida officials of exploiting black children during spring break. This is what he says. As a caption to one of the videos he posted about the matter, Uncle Luke wrote, his daddy, here's what's really going on. Here's what's really going on the place, okay? He wrote this. I did not. I'm just reading. They call South Beach, Miami Beach racism to the fullest by the government of Miami Beach. I don't know what he just said there. I guess maybe he was just trying to say it would have been simple. They're being racist to black spring breakers. That's all we needed to hear, okay? We didn't need all this. You will not see this on the news. We've been seeing this, sir. The mayor said he don't want no more down there on spring break. But then he got overthrown. We'll talk about it in a second. Everything that he tried to imply, because it's our people, our kids, down there on Miami Beach shooting and such, okay? With knives. Nah. He said, you will not see this on the news. They are a part of the scheme to the picture African Americans as animals. This is what Uncle Luke wrote. He said, to the picture. He said he should have said pitching African Americans as animals. So I'm going to correct what he's trying to write. Along with the mayor, Dan Gilbert, and the entire government of Miami Beach government. He continued and tagged the mayor and the somebody else. I am urging you to put a stop to what's going on in Miami Beach. Stop giving them in-kind services from the county. Make them come with an organized plan of events for African Americans on spring break weekend and Memorial Day weekend. So basically, he feels that the mayor is being racist towards black spring breakers on Miami Beach because he don't want them down there. I'm with him. Have you been down on South Beach? They look like this. They look just like this in white dirty t-shirts carrying either knives or guns, or they on that powder, fentanyl, all of it. Listen, lacing drinks. That's what it looked like down there, and it's only us. They down there shooting in broad daylight. And the mayor came out and said, because they children, they're not, even though they're adults, you know, our kids is 10 years behind. They can be 25, but they really 15. Okay? That they slow, because they on the internet. They ain't studying no more. They slow. By the time they 35, they're gonna be 25 and realize all that. That's when they're gonna grow up. So it is extended. That's why car insurance now, it ain't getting lower till you after 35. Before it used to be 25, now it's 35. They stretching it because our kids are getting dumber because of us, okay? And it ain't nothing but black kids down there on South Beach. The Latinas is at Windward. It's called Windward or whatever, and it ain't on the beach. It's a subgroup of Latinas. They got block parties down there. Yes, the police down there, but they ain't down there shooting each other. But our kids is down there just popping bullets left and right. So the mayor tried to enact a curfew. He said, listen, if y'all gonna come down here, we're gonna put a curfew in place. Not only if we're gonna put a curfew in place, I don't want to sell alcohol at all. But guess what? He got overthrown because there's businesses. It's federal. It's political, okay? It's political. Now, everybody's saying, oh, he being racist because it's just black kids. No, it's our kids killing one another, okay? And he know that same went on with Freaknik. Same when we gather for some reason, we feel disrespected by one another, and instead of just fighting, we want to shoot. That's what we want to take it because it be the liquor. It be the alcohol. For me, it's vodka. Vodka had me just overreacting. I'm taking stuff to 1,000 from 10 to 1,000, making it more than what it is. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to some shit down. I'm ready to mess up a place, a restaurant. That's what these kids is doing down here. Now, the mayor said, I don't want them down here. Y'all need to go somewhere else for spring break. We are tired of people being executed daylight. We don't want no alcohol, and y'all need to be in by 12. And Uncle Luke, okay, with the gap in his mouth, and you can smell the breath and decay, okay, coming from inside of his stomach out as he's speaking this very bullshit that he's talking about while trying to deflect from his son being part of the problem too down there on South Beach that the mayor's trying to get rid of. That's why he locked up right now. This has got to stop. The mayor said, okay, I don't want him down here. I don't want him drinking. You know what the council came back and said? They can stay out as late as they want. There will not be a curfew. They can shoot as late as they want, but they can't drink after 6. And then Ron DeSantis comes, hold up. He said, I got something to say. He says, guns for everybody, including him. You can be a felon. It don't matter where you come from, what your make, mark, history, race, biological, whatever it is, whatever your hierarchy said, you can carry a gun freely in Florida, even on spring break down there. The only thing you can't do is drink after 6 p.m., but you can shoot as much as you want, regardless of your record, regardless of who you mad at. Pop them, kill them, kill their ass. Go ahead, take them out. Just spin on them, spin the block. So Luke, I'm gonna need you to let these folks do their job. They did it, taking your son off the streets. What is your son? First of all, you are distracting from the real issue, sir. You ought to read, this ain't got nothing to do with racism. This has everything to do, okay, with trying to de-escalate issues when we all get together. There's no cookouts no more, it's shootouts. And he don't want our children down there. Miami Beach is trash right now. I got friends that come all the time. Oh, I'm coming down here. I'm going to go to... Don't take your ass out there on South Beach. You need to go to Hollywood. You need to go to Fort Lauderdale Beach. You need to go to West Palm Beach. Everywhere but Miami Beach. And I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before some real estate moguls come through there and buy all them little restaurants down there. And they going to put condos up. And guess who's going to be down there? Jews and Latinas. And Instagram creators. Wait for it, okay? Trying to get your son and others like him out the street, okay? Moving on, let's go. Chinese kitty. Botched Chinese kitty. Yeah. You probably don't know her. It's okay. Our husbands do. Listen, she did an interview, which I thought was quite interesting, okay? And I just kind of want to elaborate on what it is that she said. Because, the hoes are talking, the paid ones, She was the one claims that she wasn't in Dubai, even though we got her on video, laying beside 6ix9ine. Apparently, she accepted $40,000 and a Birkin bag to go accompany 6ix9ine in Dubai for some time. She claims it never happened. There's video proof, okay? But this interview that she did is rather interesting. Roll the footage.
You think all men cheat?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
No hesitation.
I do.
I feel like at the right moment, if it's given to them, they will take the opportunity.
If they think no one's gonna find out.
You guys know a man that don't cheat?
I do.
I do.
And that's why I know at this point most, because y'all know, remember before I used to be like, oh man, cheat, oh it ain't no way. But I feel like I've learned, somebody told me different. I saw my own 2 eyes. That there can be a faithful man.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think all men cheat.
so that all went to most for me. But
Given up.
like-
Yeah, no, but I don't think I don't all men cheat, but I think if they have access, a lot of them would.
Have you ever cheated?
Because it's the same thing. Like it's the access. Like
Right.
it's like you could be in a relationship with somebody and then it's like this person who has #1 hit record, hot song is like, and I don't just go after just because he hit me up. Like I'm talking about like we'll be just thirsting. Like I want to give y'all, where you at? Let's hop on the jet. Da, 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 da. And then you be like, you're like, I love you, but damn, this man is offering me shit I ain't never did before. And then,
Play the beginning, the first 10 seconds, real quick, when she asked that question one more time.
You think all men cheat?
I do.
wow.
With her. All men cheat with her. She's the one they cheat with, okay? Yeah. The hoes are at it. Okay? We're talking about a woman that's never been in a relationship, that has never been publicly claimed by anybody, okay? And it's easy because you got to understand what your reality is what you know, right? Is what you know. And it's very important that it's kind of like, I tell people this all the time. Now, this is an extreme kind of version, but I like to use extreme circumstances in order to describe certain situations like this, right? Because a lot of women will say, yes, they all cheat. And a lot of women say, no, not all men, right? And then, hoes like her, because they're the one, the men are cheating with her, so that's how she knows that they're cheating, because they're in relationships and they're sneaking her off to Dubai and all other countries because they don't want to be seen with her in public. Have you seen her body? I wouldn't either, But here's the thing. It's kind of like, it's hard to understand that if you've never been in a relationship with a faithful man, with someone who's not all about ass, who's not all about getting ass, and who's extremely focused on getting money and building a family. Not every man is out here in these streets chase just that look like you. You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like, how do you see this, or how do you understand this concept? Why is it that she doesn't get it, or why is it that a lot of people don't get it and women don't get it? It's because of this. It's like, let's just take people who inappropriately have relationships with children. And I'm talking about 10 and under, 12 and under, right? And these are adults. If you're not attracted to children, there's no way you can understand how somebody else could be attracted to children. Have you ever been attracted to a child? You ever thought a 10-year-old was... Think about it. You cannot think about it because it's not who you are. It's not your reality. But when you are that sick individual, this will be easily relatable to you. Same situation. All men cheat with you. Moving on.